All right, everybody, here we go with Saturn and Aries. So all signs reading doesn't matter which Three of Swords. All signs reading, it doesn't matter what your side is. It's straight up energy reading. It's reading as a dark side, the light side. There's all kinds of things I could say. I could go off on a tangent. The dark side of this energy, we need to watch out. You know, because it can make people violent. Believe it or not, it really can. People go after their goals with crazy, just crazy in this energy. The good news is we've got it until September. We get a break from it until February 26th, and then it comes back for a couple of years in February. But while we've got it here, it's a little bit muted by Neptune. Neptune, it's got kind of a conjunction. I think that's what it is. I think that's what the astrologers would say. I just call it a fuck up, right? It's got a bit of a fuck up with Neptune going on, which makes it a little hazy, makes the lessons a little hazy. You know, sort of like being drunk. We learn the same lessons when we've had too much to drink, but we don't really care because our inhibitions are down. It's a bit of that. It's a bit of a hazy thing. So I'll give you an example of what I mean here, okay? I've got Three of Swords in my pre-shuffle, just the surface energy. Three of Swords crossed by the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands. I've got a Burger King from another deck. Came up the other day in my 3-card and energy weather update is coming towards you. Yeah, I've got a Burger King who is about to learn what happens when you ignore Huey Lewis. Huey Lewis sang The Power of Love, right? Turn a hawk into a little white dove, he said. Yeah. Somebody ignored that. Somebody blew it off. Somebody said, fuck it. I can just go around it. It's no big deal. Magician with a smoke and mirror energy, right? Somebody about to learn a lesson here. I've got the Three of Swords. Somebody's going to learn what happens when you ignore a soul connection. And they did. They ignored it they didn't want it before. I don't know who this is to you. This can be your long lost runner. Saturn digs deep. Okay? It really does. It digs deep. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be all of it. I think it's a lot of different soulmates. Anybody who Burger King has to have it their way, right? Anybody who you weren't their way before and you are now, about to learn a lesson about that. I don't know what the lesson is. Maybe you teach them the lesson. You did come up as the Queen of Swords the other day in a reading about that. I don't know. Let's find out. All right. This is a pretty powerful energy. As Saturn transits go, this is the big one. I will put this as one of the top 3 most important and powerful readings I'll pull all year here in 2025. All right, for sure. No doubt. This is some pretty powerful shit. So let's see where we go with it. Let's see what happens. Remember, it has a light side, a dark side. Again, it does give you a lot of... it's working a little bit with Mars, especially initially, to give you sort of a positive outlook. It's there for you. You might start to think, I can do this. I can do anything, right? Underneath that all is a tendency of some self-doubt, that devil energy we talked about. If you ignore that, you can really run with this energy. Somebody's kind of running with it here towards you. I want to see what's happening. This first card out's before the cut. It's why the fuck are we here? Yeah, the Emperor. That doesn't surprise me. I'm going to paraphrase it this way. Somebody's hell-bent. A DM, a masculine energy in a soul connection you have is hell-bent. Probably on coming your way. I don't know. Let's see what comes after the cut. Hell-bent on what is what we need to ask here. Okay? I don't know. Seven of Swords. Going back. Well, I'm drawn to, in this particular deck, he's looking back at the 2 swords there. He's running away with the 5 that he already had that were great. What did I tell you about the pre-shuffle? These cards back up the pre-shuffle. So we have to take the context, right? So in the pre-shuffle, I said, somebody's learning a lesson of what happens when you ignore a soul connection. Somebody's hell-bent on going back and getting those 2 swords, right? Somebody was full of shit here for a long time. I believe it. Somebody wants to try again. And this is mild devil energy canceled out by the angel right there. All right. So, I don't know. Let's see where we go. I think somebody's coming your way. I'm not sure what that means for you or not. I'm not sure what your lesson in that is. I don't know. But in an equal and opposite reaction, I suspect you might get rewarded for not underestimating the power of a soul connection. Think of it that way, right? Laws of physics apply, equal and opposite reaction. Let's see where we go. Let's see where we're at here. Okay. Overall energy of everything that's going to fall on the table is the Strength card. And the two soulmates coming together. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of determination here. There's a lot of... There he is. Mr. Determined. Hell-bent. Somebody's hell-bent on getting back together with you. Coming back for those two swords that they... I don't know. This person must learn a hell of a lesson on their side. They must. I mean, they must. I don't know. Right here's the energy around your connection. Right here's the 3D energies around that Burger King or this Emperor, which is not a balanced Emperor. He's a little bit balanced here, but mostly he's out of balance. He's reflecting all King of Wands, right? Here's the in their life energy. Right here's their soul. This is the hidden energy message from the universe, read with the energy connection. Right here's the potential final outcome. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I'll clarify everything, throw some universe cards at the end, and see what else it wants to tell you, and then we'll definitely extend this one. There should be a couple of links. It's the energy around your connection. Look, if I didn't get a card here, I just took a peek. I love tarot. I really do. It's fucking amazing, right? I absolutely love it. It's a perfect medium. Because if I didn't get a card here in the energy of a connection that's attracting this Emperor, I'd be screwed, right? Yeah. Empress. Right there. Yeah. No, I mean, it's tough to explain, but I don't even need to. This Emperor is hell bent on doing something about something they did nothing about before. You know, that lesson, the energy of your connection is persistent. Knight of Pentacles. It's never going anywhere. So they can distract themselves with whatever they want. They can think if I just ignore it, it'll go away. Time heals all wounds. People say this. Soul connections aren't wounds. That may be true. We tend to fade, memories fade over time and stuff. This is a deep soul connection. This is a divine connection. This is the Emperor and the Empress. Okay? Time makes no difference. In fact, time tends to blend. In other words, in a soul connection, 10 years might go by. It could feel like 2 months on the top side, you know? All right, let's see where we go here. 3D energies around this person. So, the Emperor is headed your way, basically. What's here? 10 of Pentacles. Somebody. Now that's representing their life. Somebody sees you. I could say somebody sees your value. Somebody sees you in this picture. Remember, yes, Saturn in Aries brings its hard lessons. And I know a lot of you from what you said, oh, Steve's just going to do a lesson on hard lessons. It's going to be one of those preacher Steve things. No, not necessarily. It does bring hard lessons. The hard lesson here is in what happens when you ignore a soul connection. I'm pulling on the soulmate cycle. But here, the hard lesson is what happens when you ignore a powerful soul connection. So, the hard lesson in the soulmate cycle is what happens when you ignore it. The equal and opposite reaction on the DF side is more of a reward, a karmic reward for what happens when you don't ignore it. What happens when you respect it? You get someone returning. And not only do they return, you get to be in the power position. Oh, you don't think she has more power than him? You think this is a more powerful card than this? You've never been married, have you? No. What's bookending the Empress here? Well, in their soul, the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah. Somebody here has held back too long. Somebody doesn't even know how to hold back. Somebody's afraid they won't hold back. Fear doesn't belong in the soul. Holding back doesn't belong in the soul. That'll be interesting to clarify. It tells me, as it flows 5D to 3D, it tells me that somebody here has held back in their life. Somebody in their life has bit their tongue too long. Okay? Hasn't said, hasn't spoken from the soul, from the heart. We get that a lot. There's tons of people in marriage therapy where the therapist probably just wants to say, you two should just split the fuck up. They're not going to do that. It's not their job. And it's not good for business. But at the end of the day, you know, some people here, it's just too much under the carpet and it all comes out and it's crazy town. Somebody here kept a lot held back in their life. And it's all going to spill out on you. What's the message from the universe? Read with the Empress, the Hierophant. Yeah. You guys are already together in the 5D and they know that. And they've probably felt that the whole time, although whether they have to admit that or not. this is interesting. This is very, you are very spiritual to this person. It's more than just like hot ass kind of a thing. This is very, very spiritual. This feels bigger than a family member or a friend. I don't know who this is, but it feels much bigger than that. So this might be somebody you thought was long gone or something along those lines. It's possible. And this could all just be feelings rushing back into you. Karma coming back to you, where you realize a lot of things and learn a lot of things. Somebody is definitely not biting their tongue anymore. What's the potential final outcome for you? Somebody shows up. Page of Cups. Fresh as a daisy in a brand new energy. Somebody wants a new start in love. They held back long enough. They feel like they've been held back by their life. It's done. Very attracted to you. You feel holy to them. You're cathartic. Going towards you would be something on a deep spiritual level. And they show up. You get communication. You get rewarded with this. It is a page. Now look, it is a page. I get it. It's not a Knight of Cups, Steve. Yeah, I know. I know. But I actually like this here in this context. I wouldn't want a Knight of Cups here, because this person here needs to come in. I like this energy here. It's talking about a renewal of some kind. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we clarify. Bottom of the deck, randomly, I did not know this was here. And the witches we're going to clarify with is the Hierophant, the High Priest. This is powerful shit. And underneath that, by the way, is the Emperor. I mean, seriously. And he's the reason we're here, the card before the cut. He's part of the overall energy. I mean, there's no coincidence there. This is some powerful shit. Empress. Okay, let's see where we go. Saturn in Aries, it's got its hard lessons, but those lessons are where you can apply them. In other words, you don't just get hit in the face. Let's say a hard lesson does come back on you. You don't just get hit in the face with it. You can do something about it. You also have the determination and the bravery, the strength, to do something about it. It's not just slamming you in the face going, well, I guess I fucked up there. Right? No, you go, well, I guess I fucked up there. Let me do this and fix it. Right? It comes with a solution. That's what's good about it. What's bad about it on the dark side of it is we tend to get a little, well, I want to use the word violent. We can get very aggressive, and that can sometimes be counterproductive. So you have to temper the energy, in other words. I think the DF side will do a better job of that than the DM side, which is why, as always, I have more faith in the soulmate cycle energies than I do in societal energies. I don't have a lot of faith in societal energies. I think there's too many low vibrational people. But low vibrational people are selfish. They just want this right here, and they look in the short little circle. That's all they want. They don't look at the big picture. Saturn is a big picture energy. It's the long view. And that's what gets you when you're not paying attention. Right? All right, here we go. Sort of like texting and driving. The long view gets you in the end when you hit a tree or the car in front of you or a person, right? Or, God forbid, a little deer. I mean, it is what it is. All right, why is the Empress here? Let's see where we go. All right. This is nice. I like this for you. I was just about to say that too, and I did say it. But, I was thinking that while I like this for the DFs, which most of my viewers, is justice. Justice crossing the Empress. Look, this is, I mean it. Equal and opposite reaction. Laws of physics apply here. Yes, somebody else is getting spanked for not paying attention to this connection, not understanding the strength of it, thinking it would just go away, biting their lip in their life. You're just getting nothing but rewards here on the backside. You're getting somebody showing up, which is something that at least at one time you wanted. But for you, there's some sort of really deep benefit for you. It's deep. You feel very spiritual to your person, but for you, this whole experience is very spiritual. You get something very profound out of this. Okay? Whether you go with this person or you could tell this person to fuck off if you want to, doesn't matter. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter. You're getting a benefit here. What's all time? The devil. Wow, I like that. Why is the devil here? 10 swords. Those are similar cards, if not the same or close to the same, that came out on top of a Queen of Swords I pulled the other day in a 3-card, I think I did, which was a follow-up to the energy weather update, I think, unless I got the 2 readings mixed up. This is a bit of that here. Again, this requires some temperance. It's talking about the Knight of Wands. It requires some temperance. If you just, again, in your case, the less is more. You don't have to do a lot here, okay? If you push too hard on this energy, you'll push all the benefits away from you. Basically, I want you in your mind's eye, for you on the DF side, I want you, we'll talk about the DM side in a second, but on the DF side, I want you to picture in your mind's eye, you're just out back by the pool, in a chaise lounge, relaxed, and just the energy around you is just flowing around you, okay? You'll benefit most with that kind of a thing going on, with that kind of a vibe. On the other side, they're completely frantic. They're applying the dark side of this energy, Saturn and Aries, which can make someone very aggressive. A very aggressive approach. You've got a DM coming in with a very aggressive approach towards you, okay? Why? Because you matter. That's all. That's all. They're not mad. They're not anything. It's just somebody here. It's a backlash of energy. They got whipped by the energy. They got energy whiplash. And all of a sudden, you know, you're like the most important thing. They've zipped up their tongue long enough, right, in their life. They don't like it. It's a bit of that. You got somebody aggressively coming towards you. You don't want to meet that aggression with aggression. You want to temper that. All right? All right. Anyway, do what you want to do. Make your own decisions. 10 of Pentacles. Why is it here? Tell me about it. Very interesting. So this is their life. Well, somebody wants you in it. I get that. Somebody wants somebody new in it, right? See this girl here? You see her? That guy wants to replace this girl. We're talking about, I mean, it's male and female on the card. We're talking about the emperor. That emperor wants to replace that empress with you, right? Whatever that is in their life. You know, it doesn't have to be a person. Yeah, so I'm right. It's crossed by the Fool. Somebody wants a brand new life, right? Somebody's done. They want something new. That's why this page is here. What's on top? Strength. Our overall energy. Strength. Right there. Why is that here? 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, I was going to say, because somebody just has the strength to do it right now. The gumption to do it. You got Mars and Saturn, especially in the beginning of this transit, working together. It's a very can-do thing. Underneath the surface is a devil energy that, you know, puts some urgency on it and some lack of worthiness. It might be an inner self-critic and things along those lines, but there is some get up and go here. All right. Why is the 4 of Pentacles here? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the 4 of Pentacles. Why is it here? Okay. 4 of Pentacles in the soul. The Ace of Wands. This explains the 7 of Pentacles, which is divine timing. The energy's right for something to happen. Things don't happen unless the energy is right for it to happen. I don't care what it is in your life. I don't care if you think, well, I made it happen, Steve, with whatever it is. You didn't. The energy was right for it to happen, and that's why it happened. If the energy is wrong, you can't make something happen. End of story. It doesn't work that way. You're not more powerful than the universe. I know some of you think you're fucking He-Man, but you're not. Okay? You don't have the power of Grayskull behind you or whatever it is. At the end of the day here, or what was that, the Bad Castle? I don't know. Who cares? At the end of the day here, the energy is right for somebody to finally do this, and this time it sticks, whatever it is. What's on top? 5 of Pentacles. Again, somebody here, why is the 4 of Pentacles here? I'm right. Somebody just kept quiet. Somebody just lived in this cold and this frost, and then there you are, and here's this energy of Saturn, this karma coming back on them for ignoring this connection, and now they feel this connection on a high level. Emperor and Empress and the Hierophant. That's how they feel this connection, and somebody just goes batshit crazy and shows up. Why is the 5 of Pentacles here? The Hangman. Somebody, see? I'm just checking my read. I said somebody left themselves stuck in the cold in their life. Yeah, they did. The energy is right now to make it happen. That's why they show up. Okay? Done. End of story. Okay. If you want the bridging energy, it's an Ace of Cups. They're ready now. Somebody wants love. The love is flowing. The emotions are flowing. When the emotions are flowing, look, I'll put it this way. I'll put it in 3D real life terms. When this starts happening, and this is your home life, that's when change happens. All right? When you start feeling this way, and those feelings aren't reciprocated in your home life, which is this, that's when change happens. That's when you grow a pair and start making some changes. And they happen to have a soul connection here, which has been there the whole fucking time. It's never gone anywhere. Knight of Pentacles. It's somebody here. It's getting karma. They're getting slapped with it. They're getting spanked with a hard lesson. They should have just gone for it in the first place, and they wouldn't have had to sit out in the cold so long. Why is a Hierophant here? Talk to me about this Hierophant. I don't want it in relation to the DM. I want it in relation to my viewers. Tell me about this Hierophant. I can't emphasize enough how greatly you benefit from this. Normally, I'm disappointed. Oh, your final outcome's a page. I pick on it. It's a little page. It's a little this. There's some woman watching me named Paige who's like really offended by me. I know. I'm sorry. You know. And I know. She's probably going to write in and say, I'm 5'10", too, by the way. I'm not little. Okay. I got you. Okay. Calm down. Page of Cups. I like this here. There's a reason for that. We'll get there. Hierophant. Tell me about this in relation to my viewers. All right? Maybe we'll just call it Big Old Paige. Oh, well, that's kind of an insult too. I don't expect she'd like to be called Big Old Paige. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just shut up. 4 of Pentacles. Oh, that ties us back to the soul. Oh, I want you to be careful of. I love these moments. I love them. I've been making predictions my whole life about things. And I always have one policy with it. My policy is I reserve my right to say I told you so. Okay? This is your I told you so moment. Don't enjoy it too much. Alright? Because you miss the lesson in it if you do. You know, everything that we get right, whatever it is, if we get it right, it teaches us something. If we get it wrong, it teaches us something. We don't like the getting it wrong thing, but we do learn from it. We all understand that we learn from when we get things wrong. We tend not to learn as much from when we get things right, not because there isn't as much of a lesson there, but because we're so busy gloating and enjoying that we got something right that we miss it, right? Don't miss the point here, okay? But at the end of the day here, this person sees you as this. You're some kind of guru to this person. You predicted a lot of something here. Whoever this person is, you predicted something. Or you said something to them that, well, you're out in the cold and you'll regret it one day because I'm not going anywhere. 10 years from now, you're still going to know who I am. You know, that kind of a thing. Whatever it is, it proved true. So this is your moment. You called all of this. The flowing of the cup, the cold, the biting your tongue too long, it biting you in the ass. You called the whole thing. Okay? This is your I told you so moment. Your right to say I told you so is here. Try to be cool about it, all right? That's all I'm saying. What's on top? Knight of Swords and the World. Bridging energy. The 4 of Swords. The world that you predicted has arrived. Be cool. Okay? It brings a lot of healing. It actually can be a good thing. If you allow this devil to take over, you'll put 10 swords in it. Right? I told you, keep your mouth shut. Be cool. Picture yourself lounging by the pool, relaxing. You know? It is what it is. You know? I'm not gloating about being right about all that stuff 25 years ago. I'm not gloating about it. I'm trying to learn and refine my abilities. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? I look at the timeline and I go, oh, I see what happened there. Right? And I learned something from it. There's something for you to learn here too. But the world that you predicted for this person has come true. And it brings a lot of healing, and it brings them to you. It brings communication your way. It brings a fresh start with this person if you want it. Or you could be douchey about it. Go, see, I told you, now fuck off. Right? You can do that too. It's up to you. It's up to your free will what happens here. But they see you as some kind of guru. Someone who really got it right. Right? And if you got it right then, maybe you got it right now. I don't know. Take it how you want to take it. Well, it is what it is. Page of Cups. Why is it here? Page of Cups. Final outcome for you. It's nice. I like it. It's crossed by the Five of Swords. Fueled by the Four of Cups. Well, it's sort of a, well, I want to call it a devil-may-care attitude. It's a victory that you once wanted. I think you still want it. I think you do. With the King of Cups there, I think you still want something with this person. I don't know. I just do. What's on top? The Five of Wands. And why is that here? The Star. Yeah. You don't want to want it, but you do. Right? Isn't that? It's sort of the reverse of that Cheap Trick song. I want you to want me. Right? This is you don't want it, but you do. You do. The King of Swords. There it is. There's a lot of truth spoken. I'm going to need to clarify the King of Swords. Can I do that? Okay. I'm just curious here. It's still good. There's a lot of communication here. There's a lot going on. Why are you so argumentative here? Why? Pay attention to what I said here. People do this. They'll fuck things up. Somebody says to you, you were right. What about anything? Doesn't matter. The average Joe or Jane, the moment it goes straight to their head, you know, and they get all, well, I do, and I'm the greatest thing ever, and I'm this and that. You don't ever want to do that, right? You don't ever want to do that. People are always glad to hear about, well, people are never really thrilled to hear about your accomplishments, but they're less thrilled when you hit them over the head with them, right? Here we go. King of Swords. It's crossed by the Two of Wands. Plans, got it. Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Okay. All right. Be careful of a tendency to exaggerate. It could be that way, or roles can be reversed. You might suspect this person's exaggerating toward you. In other words, you have a this person shows up, you have a conversation with them, and you might just be suspicious on them based on past actions. Maybe they lied before, or maybe they exaggerated before, maybe they made promises they didn't keep before. Be careful about stabbing yourself in the foot. Be careful about looking a gift horse in the mouth. Be careful about stabbing a gift horse in the mouth. Okay? A little bit of that. I don't think that they are. I think this person is actually being truthful. But when I get a Knight of Pentacles and an Ace of Swords and I pull a bridging energy of bullshit, the Seven of Swords, I think that's why this is here and why this Four of Cups is here as well. Underneath that is the King of Cups, though. You know, again, they're being very sincere. Somebody's being very sincere. You can make plans with this person. All right, if you want to, you can move forward with this person. Take it slow. Don't go fucking crazy, but take it slow. But, you know, you can. Let's see what else the universe wants to tell you. Anything else? Let's find out. I like it. It's nice. I didn't see all that suspicion coming, I'll be honest with you. I mean, you know, a little bit. I can dig it, I guess. I mean, why are you here now, then? You know, kind of a thing. Saturn and Aries will bring all kinds of things back to you. It's carrying with it a whiplash of karma. You know, if you got that app on your phone that makes the whip noise, whoosh, right? That one. Yeah, you can imagine that in your head playing out quite a bit during this transit. You know, like people will return. You'll get the chance to resolve things. You'll see that you were right at times. You'll see that you were wrong at times. In this particular connection, this powerful one, Emperor and Empress, divine connection, you're seeing that you were right. Okay, and it might, as a devil effect, make you feel a little bit superior to this person. Be careful about that. All right? Don't. Always be humble with the energy, especially if information is what you're after. If you are an intuitive person, if you're someone like me that reads energy or whatever, humble will get you a lot further than getting cocky every time you're right. You know, I'm always surprised. I'm always blown away. Still to this day, I'm blown away anytime I write about anything. You know, it's crazy. All right, here we go. Message to you. Queen of Cups, King of Wands, Magician. When this card's from the pre-shuffle a little bit, and the Eight of Cups is added to it. Give the King of Wands a chance. Okay? Not the King of Wands showing up is not necessarily a sign that there's some sort of I don't know, karma coming back on you, or it's something you need to run from, or it's something you need to run straight to. Okay? Again, give this person a chance. There is an opportunity for a new journey here, a brand new journey. I'm going to throw another card here. Can I do that? I can do that. I'm asking the universe, not you. I want to see what's under this real quick. Yeah, the Hangman. Wait before you just blow. Yeah, wait before you just blow it off. It is a bit of that. It is let somebody show you who they are. I'm just going to throw a couple of cards on the King of Wands here for you. You have a new beginning in love coming too, but it's more of a with yourself. It's more of a love with you. You might be less interested in this person during this transit purely because you're more interested in yourself, not necessarily someone else. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean you're being selfish in a good way. It's fine, you know. It's good. It's just if you're already in a love affair with yourself, it's tough when somebody like that shows back up. But just give it a chance. Let this energy linger for a bit. You may find it benefits you. Let's throw a card or two on top. Yeah, see, I ain't playing. The Two of Cups, two soulmates, and the Wheel of Fortune. This energy has changed quite a bit, you know. And there's a Knight of Cups in the bridging energy. This energy has changed quite a bit. It's the same energy it was when you first knew each other, or whatever, before they ran from you, before whatever. This energy's been gone a while, but it's always been there. It's Knight of Pentacles, very persistent. But when I throw an energy on top of this Burger King, and I get 2 cups of balanced energy, why is that here? Because this person's changed, a Wheel of Fortune, and I get a bridging energy of the Knight of Cups. You know, again, it might be worth you, before you just, I'm all right, I'm busy with myself right now. Right? Saturn and Aries and me, I'm busy. Before you walk away, give it a chance. All right? There's a chance for some real perspective here. Some shit, finding out some things you didn't know can often change your perspective with the Moon card there. All right? Look at that, I leave 3 swords. This energy once hurt you, whoever it is. This universe helping me right now with what I was trying to tell you about this person, right? And how they've changed. They definitely understand that they've hurt you. They have paid a price for that. That's probably why they're returning more than anything else. You may hear from this person directly, or you may hear about this person. For most of you, this, I'll be honest, this feels like direct communication to me. Feels like it. Certainly does. But it could be direct, I'm just reading energy, it could be direct communication from a third party as well. So keep that in mind, okay? It's possible. Anyway, that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. I hope you get the most out of this energy. Remember to temper it, okay? In all aspects, temper the energy. And and remember, there's a lesson in the good things too. All right, keep that in mind. A lot of people miss that. I'm going to extend this one. I want to pull more on this. I'm going to pull on you, obviously, in the extended. I'll open with that, but I want to pull on this King of Wands. I want to know more about this person and how they've changed and how they've been spanked for whatever that is. Okay? So we'll see. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. All right? There's your reading. Good luck.